Welcome to the fourth round of ETRC, the European Truck Racing Championship in Germany. At the Nürburgring, we see Adam Lachko leading Jochen Hahn only by 2 points in the championship, so that will be a very close fight again. But this time with some advantage for Jochen Hahn, because the crowd of 120,000 will surely push him to the front. 8 of the 21 drivers are German. So it's a home race for nearly half of the field, and so everything is bigger here. The crowd, the field, the paddock, only the circuit is very, very short because we drive the short track of the Nürburgring. So the spectators see the truck very, very often passing by. On top of the trucks, we have a stop-and-go challenge for the normal drivers, some stunt shows, and we have some bands, we have fireworks. There's so much going on here. Everybody is presenting themselves and everybody is happy at the Nürburgring this weekend, I'm sure.
For more than 3 decades, truck racing fans have flocked to the ADAC Truck Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. Everywhere you look, there's lots to see and admire for young and old alike. A 3-day festival with non-stop action on and off the track, and also a wonderful opportunity for partners such as UTA to provide information and raise their profile. I'm here for the first time. Yesterday was super cool. We meet up with people from the Ruhr Valley here. We come every year. It's always awesome. You're standing here smelling rubber, the brakes, the clutch, you name it, and they still keep going. It's about the atmosphere. You can just talk to the drivers, see the paddock and have a look behind the scenes, see how they work. What's also important is they don't crash. I'd say the best should win. The road to Mühlenbachschleife, a must-see for all visitors. More than half a dozen bands create a cracking atmosphere on the big stage, installed at the lowest point of the track as usual. The tradition-steeped event, which is the biggest highlight of the season for many fans, takes place for the 31st time this year. Adam Lachko travels to the Eifel region as overall leader of the FIA ETRC, the European Truck Racing Championship. The Team Bagheera Freightliner driver from the Czech Republic has clocked up 146 points so far.
It's a really nice circuit, really nice atmosphere, so many spectators, so many fans here. And really it's the home race for Jochen and Rene and Steffi, but I'm not worried about this, and I try fight to the last lap.
Second overall is Jochen Hahn. The 42-year-old MAN truck driver is Lachko's chief rival and lies only 2 points behind. Hahn only secured 1 podium in last year's 4 races at his home track. He aims to do better this time, even if he is under enormous pressure.
It's pressure. Everywhere, every time. It's Nürburgring, it's normal, it's our job. We do it and we go home and we look to the next race.
Another German, Gert Korber, is competing again after a short break. He sat out the Nogaro races in the 3rd weekend for budget reasons. The setup of his Iveco truck is not yet good. He uses the practice sessions to optimise it.
After Misano, we have no time to go test somewhere to find the problems what we had in Misano. So in both practice, we find some small things, and I hope that we have or we can drive in the good Mittelfeld.
Reigning champion Norbert Kish has been through ups and downs recently, but the Hungarian is still able to laugh. After his victory in the first race at Nogaro, he had to retire on Sunday. Electronic problems meant he missed races 3 and 4.
We are working very, very hard to be there and to try to be on the top again and to catch Jochen and Adam. So for sure we will try. It might not happen this weekend, but our aim is to do it and at least give them a hard time.
Good conditions for the first race in the Eifel Mountains. A dry track and not too warm. Jochen Hahn is the pole sitter. The local hero withstood the pressure, beating Adam Lachko by 3/10 in qualifying and in the Super Pole. Our strategy is easy. We're in pole position. I'll try everything to have a flawless start, maintain the lead in the beginning, and then see if I can create a little gap. If not, we'll fight for first or second position, but I think it's going to be an exciting race.
Kämpfen wir um den ersten oder um den zweiten Platz. Aber ich denke, dass es ein spannendes Rennen gibt.
The two favourites share the front row of the grid. Steffi Halm, who surprised the truck racing world with strong finishes in Nogaro, is behind them in third. The 32-year-old civil servant beat Norbert Kisch by 2/10 in the Superpole. The Hungarian Mercedes-Benz driver more or less lived up to expectations and starts from fourth. P5 for René Reinert, who always needs a little settling in time before showing his full potential. Surprisingly, Ryan Smith is alongside him in P6. Smith competes both in the FIA ETRC races and the British Championship. A total of 21 trucks line up this time. That's almost certainly a record. It's a rolling start, as always. Number 3, Jochen Hahn, is on the inside. Alongside him, number 55, Adam Lachko. 44, Steffi Halm, is in Hahn's slipstream. The German is gaining more and more momentum and wants to secure a podium in front of her home crowd at the Nürburgring. The entry to the Mercedes arena with a little bend on the inside. If you're too far over to the inside, your truck will crash. Behind the top 3, Kisch, Reinert, Janiek, followed by Sascha Lentz and Gert Korber wheel to wheel. The top 5 positions are clear-cut, but number 8, Anthony Janiek, and 27, Gert Korber, fight for P6 over the full 13 laps. Korber attacked Janiek a couple of times, but the experienced Frenchman is not put off and will finish 6th. And number 88, Ryan Smith, things are going far worse for him than in qualifying, as he dropped to last place after a spin at turn 2. Here we see him fighting with number 12, Frankie Wojciech from the Czech Republic. The two finish 11th and 12th and fail to pick up points. In marked contrast to Jochen Hahn, who takes maximum points in the first of the 4 races, winning ahead of number 55 Adam Lachko and number 44 Stephanie Halm. Hahn takes the overall lead. He's 3 points clear of the Czech driver now. The result, Hahn almost 4 seconds ahead. Sascha Lentz finishes 8th and will be the pole sitter in race 2. Alan Law finishes 10th, taking the remaining championship point. 17 out of 21 trucks make it to the finish line. A brilliant start to the weekend for Jochen Hahn.
I'm very happy, you know, Nürburgring, pole, win the race. Normally it's a dream, but today I have it under control. I understand it, yes, but we do something at home, but I don't know before it's enough. But seems like it's enough.
Hahn is in a good mood. The atmosphere is great in the paddock in front of the stage for the podium ceremony. Race 1 was over after a few metres for Team Robineau and driver Jeremy Robineau from France. The high-pressure pump in his MAN fuel injection system is broken. Fine particles threaten to clog the nozzle, leading to engine failure. An eye-catcher for the fans in the paddock.
We decided with the service of MAN to change the motor on Saturday morning, and we changed it, and it was a little stress because we changed the motor and the gearbox in 3 hours.
The small team turned in a masterful display. 8 people, siblings Jeremy and Thomas, a few family members and friends playing their parts with great passion. My brother and I, well, we've had some stress now, but it ensures that we can compare our lap times since we have the same vehicle. Who hits the better braking point, who has the better line. It enables us to improve our performance in the end. An 1100 horsepower, 6-cylinder racing engine usually lasts for several years. Equipped with a new engine, Jeremy achieved his best result in Saturday's second race, finishing 11th, even though he started at the back of the grid. The starting grid for race 2 is the result of race 1 with the reversal of the top 8. The two top contenders this season, number 3 Jochen Hahn and 55 Adam Lachko, share the 4th row due to the reversed grid rule. Just like in Nogaro, Sascha Lenz is the pole sitter. The young German benefited from an outstanding 8th place in the first race of the day. The shorter the time, the more nervous you are. I just hope we'll have a good start and do well in the first few laps, and we'll see from there. A full starting grid, full grandstands. What more can you ask for? The field at the end of the formation lap, approaching the start-finish line. On board with pole sitter Sascha Lenz, who determines the pace. Sascha Lenz in his orange and white truck to the left. He defends his position at the start. Behind him, Gert Kurber, chased by Janek and Reinert. The first few metres are always a difficult phase. The field is still close, the tyres haven't hit the right temperature. It's not so easy to use the full power of the engine. Reinert with a little skid in the exit of turn 2. Adam Lachko launches an attack which leads to a chain reaction. No fewer than 6 trucks are involved. Number 8, Janek, 77, Reinert, number 3, Hahn, 55, Lachko, and the 2 back markers, number 11, Rodriguez, and 20, Labadie. The race is stopped. René Reinert heads into the pits. He doesn't manage to change 2 tyres in the short time available, and subsequently has to start from the pit lane. The second start. Lenz maintains his lead, but number 44, Steffi Halm, profits, advancing from 6th to 2nd straight away. Behind her is number 1, Norbert Kisch. Janek has problems accelerating in the exit to the short loop at turn 5. Adam Lachko has problems too. He has to cut the Vidal chicane to avoid a collision with number 3 Jochen Hahn and Anthony Janek. Steffi Halm attacks leader Sascha Lenz at the end of lap 1, passing number 30 in the Mercedes arena. Subsequently, number 1 Norbert Kisch and number 3 Jochen Hahn attack Lenz, who drops 3 positions over less than 1 kilometre. The beginning of lap 5. Number 3 Hahn passes number 1 Norbert Kisch. Shortly afterwards, 55 Adam Lachko overtakes 27 Gert Kurber. On the same lap, the Czech also passes number 30 Lenz before the start-finish straight in the Jaguar turn. Number 44 Halm is the race leader ahead of 3 Hahn, 1 Kisch and 55 Lachko. On board with Sascha Lenz, dropping more and more positions. After touching number 88 Ryan Smith's truck, he has to retire. His truck ends up alongside the track, visible in the upper edge of the picture. Tough luck for the 29-year-old German. At the finish line, Steffi Halm wins race 2 at the Nürburgring, ahead of Jochen Hahn and Norbert Kisch in 3rd place. The gap between the leaders, just 1.76 seconds. The trucks come into Parc Fermé. Team Reinert starts celebrating. The podium ceremony, and the German racer Steffi Halm turned in a fantastic display, winning an ETRC race for the 2nd time in her career. She maintained an edge of about 2 seconds over pursuer Jochen Hahn until the end of the race.
Sometimes, you know, when you're braking, he's full on throttle, so it's not the right distance we have between. And so I had 2 or 3 corners where I checked the gap, and I also get the information during the radio, and I knew when they are not screaming, everything will be okay, and they didn't scream, so it was good.
The results of race 2. The first 4 drivers finish way ahead of the rest. Jochen Hahn in P2 has extended his lead in the overall standings to 5 points. After Saturday's races, the day finishes with good country music. Tom Astor, a German Schlager and country singer, is one of the top acts, getting the crowds to sing along and sway with his songs. Another tradition at the Nürburgring, the spectacular fireworks late in the evening. But for most fans, it's not the end of the party. The starting grid for race 3 on Sunday at noon, open to all fans who flock to the track. Number 3, Jochen Hahn, is once again the pole sitter. René Reinert is P2 this time, Adam Lachko only 3rd. However, a shower is imminent.
Everybody have the same condition in the moment. So from this side we will see. Everybody have the same conditions.
And indeed, it starts raining in time for the formation lap. The 21 drivers start behind the pace truck before driving another lap under yellow flags, which means that overtaking is prohibited. Jochen Hahn steps on the gas, nevertheless. Norbert Kisch's team watches the start from the pit box. After a total of 2 laps under yellow flags, the greens are waved. Jochen Hahn has already opened a considerable gap between him and his pursuers, Reinert and Lachko. The Czech puts Reinert under pressure. Reinert slightly misses the braking point and, after a little touch with Lachko, the Czech passes him. Norbert Kisch, only 10th after problems in qualifying, is moving up. Here he's involved in the battle for 6th with the 2 Frenchmen, Jérémy Robineau and Anthony Janek. His misted-up windscreen notwithstanding. He's already passed Janek and easily overtakes Robineau. The 2015 champion ultimately finishes 3rd, securing a spot on the podium. This incident demonstrates the difficult conditions. Sascha Lenz accelerates too early and too strongly. His truck skids. At the head of the field, Lachko has caught up with Hahn. At the end of the start-finish straight before the entry to the Mercedes arena, Lachko opts for the better line, passing Jochen Hahn. Two laps later, leader Adam Lachko is off the track at the beginning of the start-finish straight, fighting his way through the gravel trap. Luckily, he returns to the track, but is now 2nd again behind Jochen Hahn. The German is back in the lead. The battle for the lead in the championship, the duel of the giants, continues. Jochen Hahn fights with all he has for 2 laps, but then Lachko spots a gap and makes the most of his chance, passing the German after a slight touch. Lachko wraps up the triumph. The Czech wins ahead of Hahn, which means the 2 are level on points after race 3. It's Adam Lachko's first victory at the Nürburgring. He has shown his extraordinary qualities in the rain, demonstrating his Freightliner's pace on a wet track. The podium ceremony, and Norbert Kisch is the man of the race. The Hungarian gained no fewer than 7 positions. He's obviously glad he made it to the podium alongside Lachko and Hahn.
Yeah, it was really difficult conditions because my windshield was a little bit foggy and I couldn't see much, but apparently just enough for arrive here on the podium, so I'm really happy.
The race 3 classification at a glance. Lachko the winner, Hahn 2nd, Kisch 3rd ahead of Kurve, Reinert, Halm, Janek and Jiri Foreman 8th, and he will start on pole position for the final race of the weekend here at the Nürburgring in what has been an all-action weekend so far. The duel between Jochen Hahn and Adam Lachko continues. Neither of the 2 has built up a significant advantage so far. Race 4 will inevitably decide who leaves the Nürburgring as overall leader. The 2 line up alongside each other in race 4 once again, this time sharing the 4th row. Hahn has a slight advantage because he's on the inside. Lachko's teammate Jiri Foreman is pole sitter due to the reverse grid rule.
This is my first start from the first place, and then, you know, they try to advise me how to start and how to start properly. So I'm a bit nervous, but I think I can make it, and we will see what is going on then.
Sunshine has returned to the Eiffel for race 4, but some of the drivers will be in a bad mood soon. Wait and see. Janek makes the best start. The blue Reinert trucks pass pole sitter Foreman on both sides. Sascha Lenz is in the thick of the action, but he escapes trouble, in contrast to Irving Klein-Nagelvoort. Jeremy Robineau causes the unfortunate Dutchman to skid. The front of Nagelvoort's Scania is destroyed, a costly affair. Race order, Janek in P1 battling Reinert in P2. The German fights his way past the Frenchman, who launches a counter-attack moments later. He cuts the Vidal chicane, gaining a clear advantage. Race control issues a caution. And Adam Lachko, the Czech, passes Anthony Janek on the second lap. On board, Jochen Hahn in P4 behind Janek, desperately trying to keep up with Lachko. What about the pole sitter? Foreman attacked by Ellen Law. She passes and finishes 9th. Foreman finishes 11th, failing to collect any points. Jochen Hahn finally overtakes Janek after a fair manoeuvre. The Frenchman backs off, Hahn now in 3rd position. An exciting battle between 4 drivers. Steffi Halm tries to overtake Janek before the start-finish straight. The Frenchman does not play along this time and has to pay the price. A 3-way fight at the top with 2.5 laps to go. Reinert chased by Lachko and Hahn. At the Ravenel turn, Reinert is right on the outside. Lachko uses the gap. They touch. Reinert rounds off into the gravel trap. He returns to the track but has lost his lead and is now in 5th position. In slow motion, it's not immediately clear who takes the blame.
Okay, ich war ein bisschen langsamer als Adam, vielleicht eine halbe Sekunde, aber es ist kein Grund.
Okay, I was a little slower than Adam, perhaps half a second, but that's no reason to hit me like that. It was the second time this weekend. There were no consequences, no punishment for him after the first time. I don't know what will happen after the race, but it's quite a punch to the gut for me and the whole team after all our efforts.
Schon ein Schlag in die Magengrube, auf jeden Fall.
Adam Lachko is unaffected, wrapping up his 2nd victory on Sunday, followed by Jochen Hahn and Steffi Halm. Norbert Kisch finishes 4th, missing the podium. Adam Lachko takes the overall lead with a 1-point advantage. And this conversation is not about the post-race party, to say the least. A reason to celebrate for Adam Lachko, who wins the last race at the Nürburgring. Jochen Hahn takes crucial points in the championship, finishing 2nd. Steffi Halm with another impressive display. Lachko is not the only winner this weekend. I even think it was a perfect weekend. We closed the gap to Adam. Now we can compete for the pole again. I'm super happy. You know exactly. You ask me each time the championship standings. It completely doesn't matter at the moment. At the moment, it's important to advance, take poles, win races and fight. I think the battle will continue until the last race. And this is how the results look of race 4, with another victory, the 8th of the season, going the way of Adam Lachko. He's back in the lead of the championship. And the opposition is going to have to work hard to stop him.
2 times on the podium, 1 win. It was the 2nd time I win at all in the European. And today, for sure, in the wet condition, was not perfect, but it was all right. And now finished 3rd. 1 more podium before the little summer break. Perfect.
The drivers' standings now headed by Adam Lachko on 198 points to the 197 of Hahn. René Reinert is some way back 3rd, then it's Norbert Kisch in 4th ahead of Janek, Halm, Korber, Lenz, Lohr and Foreman to round out the top 10. Ryan Smith, the British driver, is 12th and the battle continues at the next round.
The races at the Nürburgring are done, but the situation in front of the championship has only slightly changed. Adam Lachko still in the lead, but only by 1 point now in front of Jochen Hahn. So I'm pretty sure these two, in their fight for the championship, will entertain us till the end of the season. Many discussions followed the fourth race of the Sunday. Many plastic parts on the tarmac showed there was a lot of fighting, and we got some decisions from the stewards. Steffi Halm and René Reinhardt will step down 5 positions in the next grid, which will be in Hungary. Now we have an 8-week summer breaks, and then we see reigning champion Norbert Kisch in his home race in Hungary in front of a cheering crowd. So see you again there in 8 weeks. Enjoy your summer.